The Umkhonto Wesizwe, or MK Party, a significant new force in South African politics, finds itself embroiled in yet another internal conflict. This time the controversy surrounds its newly appointed chief whip in parliament, Colleen Makhubele. Her appointment at the end of May 2025 was intended to bring stability and direction to the party's parliamentary caucus. However, it has instead ignited a firestorm of dissent among some of its members of parliament. These members are now formally petitioning the party's leader, former President Jacob Zuma, to have her removed immediately, highlighting the deep fractures that exist within the young political organization. This situation has brought the party's internal struggles into the public eye. Makhubele is not a newcomer to the political arena, though her tenure with the MK Party is relatively short. She joined the party in August 2024, bringing with her a varied and somewhat nomadic political history. She previously served as the Speaker of the City of Johannesburg Council, a position she held while a member of the Congress of the People, or COPE. Before joining MK, she also founded her own political party, the South African Rainbow Alliance, or SARA. Her diverse background was perhaps seen as an asset, but for some in the MK Party, it represents a lack of deep-rooted loyalty and ideological alignment with the party's core principles and objectives. As the chief whip, Makhubele holds a position of immense responsibility within the parliamentary structure. Her primary role is to ensure party discipline among its MPs, making sure they attend parliamentary sessions and vote according to the party line. The chief whip also acts as a crucial link between the party's leadership and its members in the legislature, coordinating their activities and managing parliamentary business. This role requires strong leadership, excellent communication skills, and the ability to command respect and foster unity. It is precisely in these areas that her detractors claim she is failing, creating more division than cohesion. Her appointment came after the removal of her predecessor, Mzwanele Manyi, who had also joined the party in August 2024 after leaving the Economic Freedom Fighters, or EFF. The decision to place Makhubele in this powerful role was made by the party's leadership, but it quickly became apparent that it was not a universally popular choice. The swift and vocal opposition to her leadership suggests that the consultation process may have been flawed, or that pre-existing divisions were simply waiting for a catalyst. The challenge to her authority has now become a critical test for the MK Party's internal governance, and its ability to manage dissent from within. The grievances against Colleen Makhubele are numerous and serious, according to the faction of MPs calling for her dismissal. A central accusation is that she operates with a unilateral and undemocratic leadership style. These members allege that she makes critical decisions without proper consultation with the caucus, effectively sidelining the very people she is meant to lead. This approach is seen as arrogant and dismissive of the collective wisdom and experience within the party's parliamentary group. They argue that her conduct undermines the democratic principles that the party claims to champion, creating an atmosphere of mistrust and resentment among the ranks of its public representatives. Furthermore, critics have labeled her a political novice, whose actions are detrimental to the party's cohesion. Despite her experience as a city speaker, they argue that she lacks the specific skills and temperament required to manage a national parliamentary caucus, especially one as new and diverse as the MK parties. Specific incidents have been cited where her decisions have allegedly caused confusion and undermined the party's strategic objectives in parliament. This has led to a formal petition, a clear sign that informal channels for resolving these disputes have either failed or were ignored, forcing the dissenting members to escalate their concerns directly to Jacob Zuma. Another significant point of contention revolves around ideological differences. Some members have raised concerns about Makhubele's public statements, particularly regarding her stance on international issues like the conflict in Israel. They claim her views are in direct conflict with the established ethos and foreign policy positions of the MK Party. This is not just a minor disagreement. For a party that draws heavily on a specific political tradition, ideological purity is paramount. The perception that the chief whip is not aligned with the party's core values is seen as a profound betrayal and a threat to its identity and public image. The complaints paint a picture of a leader who is viewed as an outsider both politically and ideologically. The dissenters feel that her appointment was a mistake and that her continued presence as chief whip poses a direct threat to the party's unity and effectiveness. They believe her leadership style, perceived inexperience in national politics, and ideological misalignment are creating deep rifts that could permanently damage the party. Their plea to the party president is therefore not just a complaint, but a desperate call to correct a course they believe is leading the party towards self-destruction and internal collapse. The controversy surrounding Colleen Makhubele is not an isolated incident, but rather the latest chapter in a series of leadership shakeups that have plagued the MK party since its recent electoral success. The party has demonstrated a pattern of appointing and then quickly discarding key figures, suggesting a persistent struggle for control and direction. Before Makhubele, the role of chief whip was held by Mzwanele Manyi. His tenure was cut short amid accusations of arrogance and ineffectiveness, complaints that echo the current criticisms against his successor. This high turnover rate in such a critical position indicates a deeper instability within the party's leadership structures. This trend of instability extends beyond the chief whip's office. In June 2025, just a month prior to the current crisis, the party removed its Secretary General Floyd Shivambu, a high-profile figure who had defected from the EFF. Shivambu's time with MK was marred by controversy, including allegations of an unsanctioned trip to Malawi. His eventual exclusion from the party's final MP list and his subsequent announcement to form yet another political party underscore the volatile and unforgiving nature of the MK party's internal political landscape. These frequent and public purges create an environment of uncertainty and fear among members. Interestingly, while a significant group of MPs opposes Makhubele, she is not without support. The party's deputy president and caucus leader John Hlofi has seemingly come to her defense, though indirectly. He has written his own letter to Jacob Zuma, expressing concern over the disruptive behavior of other high-profile members, including party spokesman Nulamulo Ndlela and MP Duduzile Zuma Sambudla. Hlofi alleges that they are actively undermining the chief whip's authority, suggesting the conflict is not just about Makhubele's competence, but is also part of a wider power struggle involving different factions within the party. This complex web of accusations and counter-accusations reveals a party deeply divided. On one side, there is a faction that believes Makhubele is unfit to lead, while on the other, there are those who argue that she is being deliberately sabotaged by rival power brokers. The party's deputy chief whip, Muzi Nshingala, has also confirmed that Makhubele has supporters within the caucus, further illustrating the split. This internal rift with different leaders appealing to Jacob Zuma places the former president in the difficult position of being the ultimate arbiter in a conflict that threatens to tear his new political project apart from the inside. The intense infighting and public disagreements pose a significant risk to the MK party's long-term viability. For any political party, but especially a new one, unity is paramount. A united front is essential for presenting a clear and consistent message to the public, for effective policymaking, and for holding opponents accountable in parliament. When a party is consumed by internal battles, its energy and resources are diverted away from its political mandate. The current drama surrounding the chief whip's position makes the party appear unstable and chaotic to voters and potential allies, undermining the credibility it gained from its strong performance in the May 2024 elections. The ultimate resolution to this crisis now rests heavily on the shoulders of party president Jacob Zuma. Both the MPs who want Makhubele fired and the leadership figures who claim she is being undermined have appealed directly to him. His intervention is seen as the only way to restore order and forge a path forward. He faces a difficult choice. Siding with the dissenting MPs and removing Makhubele could be seen as bowing to factional pressure and might perpetuate the cycle of leadership instability. However, ignoring their petition and backing Makhubele could alienate a significant portion of his caucus, potentially leading to further defiance or even defections. There are several possible outcomes that could unfold in the coming weeks. Zuma could attempt to mediate a truce between the factions, urging them to find a way to work together for the sake of party unity. Another possibility is a more decisive move, such as removing Makhubele and appointing a consensus candidate who is respected by all sides. Alternatively, he might choose to discipline those accused of undermining her, thereby strengthening her authority. Whatever decision is made, it will send a powerful message about who truly holds power within the party and how it intends to govern itself moving forward. Ultimately, this episode is a critical test of the MK party's maturity and resilience. Political parties are often forged in the crucible of internal conflict, and how they manage these disputes determines their future. If the MK party can resolve this issue in a way that reinforces its structures and unifies its members, it may emerge stronger. If it fails, the internal divisions could fester, leading to a permanent split or a gradual decline into political irrelevance. The path it chooses now will determine whether it can build a lasting political movement, or if it will be remembered as a short-lived phenomenon defined by personality clashes and power struggles.